Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing, and welcome to a special edition of the Lunchtime Laps, where today we have a special guest in the house from the Chase Family Racing. He sent me some cars that he wanted to get tested out down the quarter mile, and so I told him, yeah, send them on. We will look at them, run them down, and what I have done is I sent them down the lane to see where they were at as they arrived. I have not altered them in any way since then. I'm going to run them down again, a solo lap from each lane, and then we're going to run them in traffic and test them as if he were to actually race me in a competition. So we're just going to go in order. We're going to start with the GHO Porsche. We had two solo runs. We're going to run a solo run in lane number 2, and then we're going to run them in traffic against his respective weight class. Today's marks will be in red. First up is going to be the Gold Hot Ones Porsche, 46.2 grams. So we'll give him a lap. 2:1:05. And what we'll do is we'll run them first up against the gatekeeper, and then I'll put them up against the number 1 in that weight class. Pass number 1, 2:1:07 to 09, and in lane number 2, 2:1:02. Very good. Now we'll roll them up against the number 1 Sterling Marlin. 2:097 to 1:2. And run number 2. All right. Track temperature today 74 degrees. Causes a little rise in the track. Be right back. Okay, we're going to give that first run a do-over against Sterling Marlin since the track was bowing up. We fixed that. Yeah. You gotta watch that heat. All right, restarting. Much better this time. 2:098. I guess we'll forget this tripod. Technical difficulties. You're seeing what goes on here sometimes. All right, we got a 2:098 and a 10,000 speed by Sterling Marlin, which is not bad at all. We'll switch them up. 2:095 this time, and a 2:094 beats my number 1. 2:094, not bad, and a 1,000 speed. Since he beat Sterling Marlin, we'll give him a shot at the gatekeeper of the top tier, just to see where he would sit if he were to make it into the top tier. 2:086 to 97. 2:082 to 93. So for the Gold Hot Ones Porsche 928, his best time is 2:093, which would be number 1 in the weight class, but would not make the top tier. Very good so far. So good with that one. Next up is the yellow Nissan 300ZX. He's in the 41 to 50 weight class. We'll give him a solo run, and this time, well, we'll put him against the gatekeeper with that time. We'll give him another warm-up lap. 2:1:02, much better. Let's just see what he does in traffic against Sterling Marlin. 2:090 to an 02, that's a 12,000 speed. 2:099, not too bad. Next up is going to be the 2009 F-150. First solo run was a 2:128 and a 2:118. Let's see what he's doing today. Also in the 41 to 50 weight class. 2:124. 2123. And these times would not even qualify to beat the gatekeeper in this weight class. So we're going to move on and give him one more shot down the fast lane and see if he can get a better time. And we'll throw the gatekeeper in just for a visual. Next up is a super sharp Ferrari 308 Turbo 49.6, same weight class. First runs produced a 2109 and a 2107. 2108. 2112. In traffic against the gatekeeper. 10,000 beat by the gatekeeper at a 2108. Some cars perform better in traffic. I test all of my cars in traffic before I send them to a drag race. Without fail, it has to be consistent. Ferrari can keep up, but cannot catch up. Next up is the Stutz Blackhawk, same weight class. First solo runs were 2110 and a 2100. Let's see what he's doing today. Sounds really good going down the track. 2104. 2099, very good. Let's see how he does against Mr. Marlin. 2098 and a 9,000 speed. 2091 and a 3,000 speed. Not bad. He kept up with the class runner. That would legitimately put him in the top 5 in the weight class. 46.2, another favorite, the Gold Hot Ones Corvette. I don't know any drag racer that doesn't have a half a dozen of these in his stable, somewhere lurking in the abyss of their diecast collection. First runs were a 2119 and a 2116. 2125. The ever so temperamental Gold Hot Ones. 2123. We'll roll them once against the gatekeeper. 2104 and a 10,000 speed. And once against Sterling Marlin. 2023. Next up will be the Halley's Comet Trans Am, same weight class. You can see where mine sits, number 2 in the weight class. Out of the box, Chase family ran a 2108 and a 210. Let's see what they're doing today. 2097, very good. 2106. Let's roll them up against Sterling. 2092 and a 9,000 speed. 2095 and a 2,000 speed. And if he was going to take the number 1 spot from Sterling Marlin, Sterling would have to get a 2095 or better and a greater than 2,000 speed, which he does not do. So his Halley's Comet would best Sterling Marlin in this class. Next up is the super sharp 80s Firebird, who ran 212s out of the box. Today, 2122, 2124. We'll roll them against the gatekeeper. And we'll leave it at that. Next up, the 49.6. My personal favorite Matchbox on the whole entire solar system, planet, Earth, yes, everything. My favorite, the Mercedes AMG SEC 500. AMG running 2091 and 2087. And while this is the fastest car, or my favorite car, as far as Matchbox, 2090, that's a great time. 2092. My AMG looks like it has been beaten out by faster cars. No longer will be traveling, it looks like. So let's run them against Sterling Marlin. This AMG, on the other hand, 2088. Wow. And a 10,000 speed. 2092 and a greater than 2,000 speed. Won't happen. He would not get into the number 1 spot. But that would put him a solid number 2, because I'm pretty certain that would beat my Firebird. All right, and the last car we're going to look at today, the Ultra Hot's Flame Runner. First pass was a 2087, then he ran a 2079. Very impressive. So anything sub 210 is competitive on this track. Sub 212, between 211 and 212 are B-sides times, and between 210 and 211 is becoming old. 2087. My Flame Runner is not that fast. This Flame Runner, however, is pretty quick. I'm going to give him one run against Sterling Marlin. Then we're going to see where he sits in the top tier. 8.4 to 9.1. 2.091 to 9.7. So he would definitely surpass in the weight class. So let us put him against the 38th ranked in the top tier. It's Eamon's Crazy Bird. 2.080 and a 5,000 speed. Not bad. And the final test for the Chase family racing. We'll see if he can get past this F250, who is the gatekeeper to the top tier rankings here at Elevation Diecast Racing. 2.082 to a 9.1 is pretty good. So a 2.082 and a greater than 9,000 speed would have to be ran by the truck, or the Chase family Flame Runner would be the gatekeeper to the top tier rankings. 2.079 and a 3,000 speed. So a 2.079 or a greater than 3,000 speed. If the Flame Runner can do it, he would get in. He could not, but he gets a 10,000 speed there. So that car running really consistent times. I would say that is your most consistent runner that you have out of this bunch, followed by the AMG. Let's take a look at the board. All the starred numbers are the top times that he ran. 2.079. I think he did very well. 2.088 for the AMG. 80s Firebird. Haley's Comet Trans Am. Gold Hot Ones Corvette. Stutz Blackhawk. Ferrari 308. F-150, Nissan 300, and the Gold Hot Ones Porsche. And here is a look at the board for video sake, and I will take a still frame of this and text it to you. Thanks for trusting us with your cars, and hope this helps. Please like, comment, subscribe, leave feedback on what we have done here today for the lunchtime laps. And if your car isn't fast, at least it'll look good on the shelf. See ya.